Hi stylish squad, today we are making this beautiful overlap top together. If you are new to sewing, don't worry, this project is easier than it looks and I will walk you through everything. So grab your pattern paper, tools and fabric and let's get started. So here on my work table, I have my pattern paper laid out and the first thing I did was to draw a starting line, which has become my shoulder line. Placing my measuring tape from that starting line, I'm going to take my vertical measurement, so I'm going to mark the bust point, and after which I'm going to come down again and mark the under bust, followed by the waistline. And then for the top length, I'm going to be marking 22 inches, after which I'm going to draw horizontal lines to identify them. Now after marking the lines, I went ahead to label them as the bust point, the under bust, the waistline and the top length. And then at the shoulder, I'm going to mark the half of the shoulder measurement, and that is 8 inches, and also I'm going to extend it by extra 7 inches. That will make a cut together sleeve together with the neckline, okay, because the sleeve is cut together. So at the end of the sleeve, I came down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and then I came inwards here around the neckline, and I'm marking a standard of 3 inches for the width and then 1 inch for the neckline. So this is going to become our back pattern. So I used a curve ruler to make a connection on that point, and then I went ahead to just draw a line for the slanted shoulder slope. I also went ahead to place my tape rule this way to measure the width of the sleeve that I want to have, and that is about 9 inches, and then I came inwards at this point by half of an inch and drew a diagonal line to connect them. And then at this point, which is the bust, we're supposed to come in by our bust measurement plus sewing allowances, but I'm not going to be using that because it's invalid because of the sleeve we are making use of. So I'm going to head over to the under bust line and mark the quarter of the under bust plus extra 1 inch for ease, and then I'm going to also go ahead and mark the same measurement and then add allowances just like I added for the under bust on the waistline, and then repeat the same thing on the hip line. Okay, so I'll go ahead now and connect everything with a ruler just to bring out the shape. So at this point, which is the under bust, I'm just going to use my curve ruler to create a rounded curve around the armhole to connect to the sleeve. And then at the waistline at this part, I'll come in by ½ inch, which is going to eliminate those bulge we usually remove from our zipper. So this is like cutting the back piece into two instead of one piece. So the last step for this back piece is to just come upwards by 1 inch at the side like this and connect it like this with our curve ruler, and after cutting it out, this is what I have. Now I didn't remove the bulge at the waistline and I didn't cut out the neckline because I'm going to use this to cut out the front. To cut the front piece, you're going to measure 2½ inches to 3 inches at this point all along the pattern paper, and that will serve as our overlap because this is where our overlap effect takes place. So go ahead and align your back piece on the new line and trace out all other points on the back piece just to duplicate it on the front, okay? So whatever you have for the back, just go ahead and mark each point and trace it. If you have a tracing wheel, please go ahead and make use of a tracing wheel. Otherwise, just do it the traditional way to draft again and cut. Please take note that we are cutting the front, and the front is supposed to be double, so we are cutting one part of the front. One part of the front is extended downwards to have a pointy edge, so I glued an extra pattern paper to achieve that. Also extended the lines and measured 4 inches. You can prefer to measure 5 inches to 6 inches for that, and then proceed to connect a diagonal line. So I'm going to just make adjustments on the waistline and on the under bust just because it's not really sitting well, and this is the under bust and also this is the waistline and this is the top length. So I'll go ahead now and mark the v-neck line for the front. So I'm going to take a measurement that is the same as the illustration picture, and the v-neck line for that stops around the under bust. So I'm just going to draw a diagonal line from the neck width of the back, and that has become our v-neck line. And if you are still confused about the bust line, this is just me indicating the bust line, which is not useful in this tutorial. So I'm just going to adjust the neckline. You can also make this at any depth that you want. So this is what I'm going to be taking out, and here becomes one side of the front, though I'm supposed to register it either left or right to be sure of which one that wants to give the slanted line. So my slant is like giving a little bit of doubt for me, so I had to go ahead and correct it and then cut everything out after I was done drafting. After I was done cutting it out, the remaining thing is to cut out the other side of the front. So I'm going to get an extra pattern paper for that because one side of the front is like a bit shorter than the other side. So I'm going to use this part of the front that is already drafted to cut out the second side of the front, and then we'll make adjustments afterwards. So guys, this is what I have after I was done cutting, and this is what it looks like. Okay, so you can see that this two parts has pointy edges and it's never supposed to be left that way, so we are going to work on that. So depending on the side you want to use to overlap the other, go ahead and choose which side of the front that you want to use. Okay, so we are going to take our measurement on one of the front patterns by marking 2 inches below. Now what this means is that the patterns are not going to be equal anymore. One is going to become shorter than the other, so that way we can achieve the look we are going for. So after marking, I'm going to use my curve ruler to just connect it this way. Okay, just follow the steps and trust the process. Cut it out and this is what you have. So right now, as you can see, I have 2 panels for the front. One is shorter than one on the lower part. So I'm just going to introduce this material that I'll be using. As you can see, this is crepe and it's a little bit stretchy and very thick as well. And it's just 2 yards. So right now, I'm going to finish off the back that I have not finished cutting. As you can see, I cut out the shoulder line and then I'm just going to trim out the remaining part, which is this 0.5 inches mark we left at center back. And now I've cut out everything. You can see I left about half of an inch all the way around, and then at the lower part I left about 1 inch just for the lower part. Okay, and also at the side you can leave about 1 inch to 1.5 inch sewing allowance, depending on how free you want it. Okay, so my client wants it a little bit fitted, and that's why my allowance is just about 1 inch at the side. So I have 2 pieces for this panel and the other part is also 2 pieces. So because it's the back, we're supposed to cut 1 piece, but because of the opening we have at the center back, which is supposed to be unfold, we'll have 2 pieces. One part is going to serve as the main fabric while the other is the lining. Same thing goes for the other side of the front piece. So take note, we'll have 1 inch at the lower part for the hemming allowance, we'll have 1 inch at the side for the sewing allowance. Then from the shoulder down to the neckline and the overlap, we have just ½ inch sewing allowance. Now this fabric here is for the belt I'm going to use for the tutorial, so I'll set this aside and get ready to cut out the belt. So as you can see, I cut out a long strip of fabric and it's 2 pieces. So I'm just going to measure what I have here, and as you can see, it's about 27 inches, and I folded it into 2, meaning that I'm going to cut out a wider piece and then one part is going to be smaller than the other side. And because it's already thick, there was no need to add any interfacing. So I'll go ahead and fold it right back again, and then I'm going to make a stitch from this part to this part by ½ inch on the wrong side, and then also stitch the same thing for the second one. After stitching, I went ahead to trim out excess fabric, which is going to make it bulky, and then I started by just like pulling in the ends like this to turn it inside out. So after I was done pulling it, I went ahead to iron it thoroughly, and this is what I have. It's now super flat, so I'm going to use this later on when we are done stitching our top. So we are going to head back to the patterns and start stitching. So as you can see, each one has a lining for it. So this side of the front has 2 pieces. One is going to serve as a lining and the other is going to serve as a fabric. So I'm going to align the front and the back of the main fabric. I will go ahead and just set them this way, but as for the back piece, we're going to be stitching them together by ½ inch first of all before joining it at the shoulders with the front piece. So go ahead and make a stitch like this by ½ inch, and after you're done, press it nicely on the ironing table. Make sure that you water it or use a steam iron to achieve a very neat finishing. So after that, I'll go ahead and place them this way with the right sides facing each other, making sure the shoulders are aligned, and then I'll repeat the same thing for that of the back piece as well. We're going to do them lining to lining and fabric to fabric. So after stitching them on the shoulders by ½ inch, I went ahead to further join them together as one piece by placing them this way. I'm going to be stitching the sides, I'm going to be stitching everything up, and at this side as well, I'm going to be stitching them. Remember the sewing allowances we gave when we were drafting, so that will be the allowance I will use to stitch everything together. So before stitching, make sure your hemming gum is right next to you, because we'll be needing to line up the edges, so that way as you are stitching, you are going to have a neat finishing after pressing. So you can see the areas I'm placing the hemming gum on. make sure you follow the same steps. Okay, so you are going to place your hemming gum from the lower part and also all around the neckline all the way down to the other side, but you're not going to be needing any hemming gum on this side because there's a joining there. Also on the sleeve part, we're going to attach our hemming gum while stitching, and then there will be nothing here. And at the base, which is the back, I'm going to also attach a hemming gum. So this is what I have after I was done stitching it all along. So if you look closely, you're going to see that there's hemming gum on the sleeves, there's nothing on the sides, and there's hemming gum on the back. And I basically stitched everything together. So this is the belt which I'm going to attach, but we're not using it now, just in case you are wondering. But for us to achieve that, we're going to turn it inside out. Okay, so because I stitched everything, I'm going to come here at the lining piece of the back and make an opening from which I'll use and turn it inside out. So before you turn yours, go ahead and notch all the curved areas you have on the top, okay, like on the sides, on the neckline, on the armhole area, and any curved area, even in the angled part, so that way you won't have any squeeze after you're done turning it inside out. Remember that the opening you want to pass your hands through cannot be that wide. You can make 2 inches, you can make 3 inches opening. So this is what I have after I was done turning it inside out, and I went ahead to iron it. So I'll have to hand stitch that part where I turned it out from. And if you look closely, you can see how neat the finishing is because of the hemming gum effect. So now we're going to attach our belt. As you can see, I've not stitched the sides. We're going to attach our belt. Go ahead now and just like stitch it by 1/2 inch on both sides. And then also go ahead and insert your belt from the inside. Okay, as the right sides are facing each other, open it up this way and place your belt just like this around the waistline and stitch by 1/2 inch. And also don't forget to do the same thing for the other side as well. So guys, I'll head over to the sewing machine and stitch everything together, and after doing that, this is what I have. Okay, so after pressing, I will go ahead and just insert my push button here, so that way we can achieve our wrap effect. So go ahead and just insert your push button here, and one is going to stay here as well. When you close it, everything is going to stick together. Also on the other side of the wrap, go ahead and attach a fancy button or a brooch, so that way you can have the complete look of this top. So this is the sneak peek of the top. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video.